Gentlemen, I pray you tell me where a gentle maiden dwelleth named Yum Yum. The word of cocoa, in pity speak, oh speak, I pray you.
I for you ask this question.
Come gather round me, and I'll tell you. A wandering minstrel I, a thing of shreds and patches, of ballad songs and snatches, and dreamy lullaby. My catalogue is long, through every passion ranging, and to your humors changing. I tune my supple song, I tune my supple song. For if patriotic sentiment is wanted, I've patriotic ballads cut and dried. For where'er our country's banner may be planted, all other local banners are defied. Our warriors in serried ranks assembled never quail, or they conceal it if they do. And I shouldn't be surprised if nations tremble before the mighty troops, the troops of Titipu. And if you call for a song of the sea, we'll heave the capstan around with the yo-heave-ho, for the wind is free, the anchors alift and the helms alee. Hurrah for the homeward bound! To lay aloft in a howling breeze may tickle a landsman's taste, but the happiest hour a sailor sees is when he's down at an inland town with his Nancy on his knee, yo-ho, and his arm around her waist. A wandering minstrel I, a thing of shreds and patches, of ballad songs and snatches, and dreamy lullaby, and dreamy lullaby, lullaby.
And what may be your business with Yum Yum?
I'll tell you. 1 year ago, I was a member of the Titipu Town Band. It was my duty to take the hat around for contributions. While discharging this delicate office, I saw Yum Yum. We loved each other at once, but she was betrothed to her guardian, Coco, a cheap tailor, and I saw that my suit was hopeless. Overwhelmed with despair, I quitted the town. Judge of my delight when I learned a month ago that Coco had been condemned to death for flirting. I hurried back at once in hopes that Yum Yum would now be free to listen to my protestations.
It is true that Coco was condemned to death for flirting, but he was reprieved at the last moment and raised to the exalted rank of Lord High Executioner under the following remarkable circumstances. Mikado, virtuous man, when he to rule our land began, resolved to try a plan whereby young men might best be steadied. So he decreed in words succinct that all who flirted, leered, or winked, unless connubially linked, should forthwith be beheaded, 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 should forthwith be beheaded. And I expect you'll all agree that he was right to so decree. And I am right, and you are right, and all is right as right can be.
And you are right, and we are right, and all is right as right can be.
And all is right as right can be.
All is right
Can be.
decree you'll understand caused great dismay throughout the land. For young and old and shy and bold were equally affected. The youth who winked a roving eye or breathed a non-connubial sigh was thereupon condemned to die. He usually objected. He usually objected. And you'll allow, as I expect, that he was right to so object. And I am right, and you are right, and all is right.
And you are right, and we are right, and all is right as right can be. And everything is quite correct. All is quite correct.
And so we straight let out on bail a convict from the county jail, whose head was next on some pretext condemned to be mowed off, and made him headsman, for we said, who's next to be decapitated cannot cut off another's head until he's cut his own off, his own off, his own off, until he's cut his own off. And we are right, I'll think you'll say, to argue in this kind of way. And I am right, and you are right, and all is right to lurale.
And you are right, and we are right, and all is right to lurale. And all is right, and we are right, and all is right. Coco, the cheap tailor, is now Lord High Executioner of Titipu? Why, that is the highest rank a citizen can attain.
It is. Our logical Mikado, hey, Mikado, seeing no moral difference between the dignified judge who condemns a criminal to die and the industrious mechanic who carries out the sentence, has rolled the two offices into one, and every judge is now his own executioner.
But how good of you, for I see that you are a nobleman of the highest rank, to condescend to tell all this to me, a mere wandering minstrel.
Don't mention it. I am, in point of fact, a particularly haughty and exclusive person of pre-Adamite ancestral descent. You will understand this when I tell you that I can trace my ancestry back to a protoplasmal primordial atomic globule. Consequently, my family pride is something inconceivable. I can't help it. I was born sneering, but I struggle hard to overcome this defect. I mortify my pride continually. Why, when all the officers of state resigned in a body because they were too proud to serve under an ex-tailor, did I not unhesitatingly accept all their posts at once?
And the salaries attached to them you did.
Consequently, it is my degrading duty to serve this upstart as First Lord of the Treasury, Lord Chief Justice, Commander-in-Chief, Lord High Admiral, Archbishop of Titipu, and Lord Mayor, both acting and elect, all rolled into one, and at a salary, a poobah paid for his services. I, a salaried minion. But I do it. It revolts me, but I do it.
And it does you credit.
But I don't stop at that. I go and dine with middle-class people on reasonable terms. I dance at cheap suburban parties for a moderate fee. I accept refreshment at any hands, however lowly. Psst. I also retail state secrets at a very low figure. For instance, anything further about Yum Yum would now come under the head of a state secret. Another insult, and I think a light one. Young man, despair, likewise go to Yum Yum the fair. You must not woo, it will not do. I'm sorry for you. You've very imperfect ablutioner. This very day from school, yum yum, we'll wind her way and homeward come with beat of drum and a rum-tum-tum to wed the Lord High Executioner. And the brass will crash and the trumpets bray, and they'll cut a dash on their wedding day. She'll toddle away as all ever with the Lord High Executioner.
And the brass will crash and the trumpets bray, and they'll cut a dash on their wedding day.
She'll toddle away as Oliver with the Lord High Executioner.
It's a hopeless case, as you may see, and in your place away I'd flee. But don't blame me, I'm sorry to be of your pleasure a diminutioner. They'll vow their pact extremely soon. In point of fact, this afternoon, our honeymoon with that buffoon at 7 commences, so you shun her. And the brass will crash and the trumpets bray, and they'll cut the dash on their wedding day. She'll toddle away as all ever with the Lord High Executioner.
And the brass will crash and the trumpets bray, and they'll cut a dash on their wedding day.
She'll toddle away as Oliver with the Lord High Executioner. So, you're telling me that I have journeyed for a month, well, nearly a month, just to find out that Yum Yum, the girl that I love so dearly, is going to be married to Coco today?
The fact appears to be as you've recited. But here he comes, equipped as suits his station. He'll give you any further information.
Taken from the county jail by a set of curious chances, liberated then on bail, on my own recognizances, wafted by a favoring gale, as one sometimes is in trances, to a height that few can scale, saved by long and weary dances, surely never had a male under such like circumstances, so adventurous a tale, which may rank with most romances, taken from the county jail by a set of curious chances, surely never had a male so adventurous a tale. Gentlemen, I am much touched by this reception. I can only trust that by strict attention to duty, I shall ensure a continuance of those favors which it will ever be my study to deserve. If I should ever be called upon to act professionally,
Hi!
I'm happy to think that there will be no difficulty in finding plenty of people whose loss will be a distinct gain to society at large. As someday it may happen that a victim must be found, I've got a little list of society offenders who might well be underground and who never would be missed. They never would be missed. All those West Kentucky colleagues who will wait till you're away, then elect you to committees that have meetings every day. Those phantom college students who have never been to class, who have never even met you yet, who all expect to pass. If their names weren't on the roster, you'd not know that they exist. They'd none of them be missed. They'd none of them be missed.
He's got them on the list. He's got them on the list. And no, none of them be missed. No, none of them be missed.
The surgeon with his scalpel and his shiny hemostat. The local pharmacist, I've got him on the list. The HMOs that tell you that you're not insured for that. They never would be missed. They never would be missed. Although Kentucky politicians who proclaim this isn't good, 'cause we don't have nearly half the college students that we should. The colleges that promise to eliminate the poor with a higher education, which they'll gladly charge them for. And next year the tuition must be higher, they insist. They'd none of them be missed. They'd none of them be missed.
He's got them on the list. He's got them on the list. And no, none of them be missed. No, none of them be missed.
Persistent telemarketers who cannot be concise. The greenbelt enthusiast, she is way up on the list. And fat-fingered proctologists with hands as cold as ice. They'd none of them be missed. They'd none of them be missed. The usher who directs you into someone else's seats. The accompanist who gives you half a dozen extra beats. The unsuspecting audience supporting public arts who will give us all their money, though we never learn our parts. We never learn the parts. They keep paying us. They buy the tickets. We really, really love you from the bottom of our hearts. You were never on the list. You would certainly be missed. Oh, Poobah!
Hi!
Poobah! It seems that the festivities in connection with my approaching marriage must last a week. I should like to do it handsomely, and I want to consult you as to the amount I ought to spend upon them.
Certainly. In which of my capacities? As First Lord of the Treasury, Chancellor of the Exchequer, Privy Purse, or Private Secretary?
Suppose we say as private secretary.
Speaking as your private secretary, I should say that as the city will have to pay for it, don't stint yourself. Do it well.
Exactly. As the city will have to pay for it. That is your advice?
As private secretary.
Of course, you will understand that as Chancellor of the Exchequer, I am bound to see that due economy is observed.
Oh, but you said just now, don't stint yourself, do it well.
As private secretary.
And now you say that due economy must be observed.
As Chancellor of the Exchequer.
I see. Come over here where the Chancellor can't hear us. Now, as my solicitor, how do you advise me to deal with this difficulty?
Oh, as your solicitor, I should have no difficulty in saying, chance it.
Thank you. I will.
Of course, you will understand that as Lord Chief Justice, I am bound to see that the law isn't violated.
I see. Come over here where the Chief Justice can't hear us. Now then, as First Lord of the Treasury,
Speaking as First Lord of the Treasury, I could propose a special vote that would cover all expenses. If it were not that, as leader of the opposition, it would be my duty to resist it tooth and nail. Or as a paymaster general, I could so cook the accounts that as Lord High Auditor, I should never discover the fraud. But then, as Archbishop of Titipu, it would be my duty to denounce my dishonesty and give myself into my own custody as First Commissioner of Police.
that's extremely awkward.
I don't say that all these distinguished people couldn't be squared, but it is right to tell you that they wouldn't be sufficiently degraded in their own estimation unless they were insulted with a very considerable B-R-I-B-E.
The matter shall have my careful consideration. But my bride and her sisters approach, and any little compliment on your part, such as an abject grovel in a characteristic Japanese attitude, would be esteemed a favor.
No money, no grovel. I live to grovel.
From school are we, pert as a schoolgirl well can be, filled to the brim with girlish glee. 3 little maids from school, everything is a source of fun. Nobody's safe, for we care for none. Life is a joke that has just begun. 3 little maids from school. Genius to little maids in attendance come.
3 little maids is the total sum.
3 little maids from school. From 3 little maids take 1 away. 2 little maids remain and they
Won't have to wait very long, they say.
3 little maids from school. 3 little maids who all unwary come from a lady's seminary, freed from its genius tutelary. 3 little maids from school. 3 little maids from school. Three little maids who all unwary come from a lady's seminary, freed from its genius tutelary. 3 little maids from school. 3 little maids from school.
At last, my bride that is to be.
You're not going to kiss me before all these people.
Well, that was the idea.
Well, it seems odd, doesn't it? It's rather peculiar.
Well, I expect it'll be all right. I mean, you must have a beginning.
Well, of course, I know nothing about these things, but I've no objection if it's usual.
Oh, it's quite usual, I think, eh, Chancellor?
I have known it done.
Thank goodness that's over. Why, that's never... Oh,
Tell us all the news because we've been away at school. And we're not going back. We're finally finished with that.
And I've come home for
Anyway, we've come home for good. We're not going to go back anymore.
I beg your pardon. Will you present me?
Oh, well, this is Nanky Poo. And he's a musician and he was here last year.
One at a time, if you please.
If you please, this is the gentleman who used to play so beautifully on the
sackbut.
Yes, I believe that was the name of the instrument.
Sir, I have the misfortune to love your ward, Yum Yum. Oh, I know I deserve your anger.
Anger? Not a bit, my boy. Well, I love her myself. Charming little girl, isn't she? Pretty eyes, nice hair, fetching little thing altogether. I'm very glad to hear my opinion backed by a competent authority. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Take him away.
Oh, I beg your pardon, but what is this? A customer come to try on?
That is a tremendous swell.
It's alive!
Go away, little girls, go away. Can't talk to little girls like you. Go away, there's dears.
Allow me to present you, Pooh-Bah. These are my 3 wards. The one in the middle is my bride-elect.
What do you want me to do to them? Mind, I will not kiss them.
No, you shan't kiss them. A little bow, a mere nothing. You needn't even mean it, you know.
It goes against the grain. They are not young ladies, they are young persons.
Come, make an effort. There's a good nobleman.
Well, I shan't mean it. Howdy do, little girls. Howdy do. Oh, my protoplasmal ancestor.
That's very good.
I see nothing to laugh at. It is very painful for me to have to say howdy do, little girls, howdy do to young persons. I'm not in the habit of saying howdy do, little girls, howdy do to anyone under the rank of a chief learning officer.
Don't laugh at him. He can't help it. He's under treatment for it. Never mind them. They don't understand the delicacy of your position.
We understand how delicate it is, don't we?
Oh, I should think we did. How a nobleman of your importance can do it at all is a thing I never can, never shall understand. Goodbye.
please just very much regret if we have failed in etiquette. Towards a matter of rank so high, we shall know better by and by.
What youth, of course, must have its fling, so pardon us, so pardon us.
And don't in girlhood's happy spring be hard on us, be hard on us if we're inclined to dance and sing tra-la-la-la-la-la. But youth, of course, must have its fling, so pardon us. Don't in girlhood's happy spring be hard on us. Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la.
I think you ought to recollect you cannot show too much respect towards the highly titled few, but nobody does, and why should you? That youth that us should have its fling is hard on us, to our prerogative we cling. So pardon us, if we decline to dance and sing tra-la-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la.
But youth, of course, must have its fling, so pardon us. And don't in girlhood's happy spring be hard on us. Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la.
Yum, yum. Oh, at last we are alone. I have sought you night and day for 3 weeks in the belief that your guardian had been beheaded, only to find that you were about to be married to him this afternoon.
Alas, yes.
Then you do not love him?
Alas, no.
Modified rapture. But then why do you not refuse him?
Well, what good would that do? He's my guardian, and he wouldn't let me marry you.
But I would wait until you were of age.
You forget that in Japan, girls do not arrive at years of discretion until they are 50.
True. From 17 to 49 are considered years of indiscretion.
Besides, a wandering minstrel who plays a wind instrument outside tea houses is hardly a fitting husband for the ward of a Lord High Executioner.
Oh, shall I tell her? Yes, she will not betray me. But what if it should prove, after all, that I am no musician?
There! I was certain of it directly I heard you play.
What if it should prove that I am no other than the son of His Majesty, the Mikado?
Hi, Mikado! The son of the Mikado? But why is your highness disguised? And what has your highness done? And will your highness promise never to do it again?
Several years ago, I had the misfortune to captivate Katisha, an elderly lady of my father's court, who misconstrued my customary affability into expressions of affection and claimed me in marriage under my father's law. My father, the Jamin McElrath of his race, ordered me to marry her within the week. He ordered me to marry her within the week or perish ignominiously on the scaffold. That night, I fled his court. I assumed this disguise as a second trombone, and I joined the band in which you found me when I had the happiness of seeing you.
If you please, I think your highness had better not come too near. The laws against flirting are excessively severe.
But we are quite alone. Nobody can see us.
Still, that doesn't make it right. To flirt is capital.
It is capital.
And we must obey the law.
Deuce take the law.
Well, I wish it would, but it won't.
Though were it not for that, how happy we might be.
Happy indeed.
Were it not for the law, we should be sitting side by side. Like that.
Instead of being obliged to sit a half-mile off. Like that.
We should be gazing into each other's eyes. Like that.
Breathing sighs of unutterable love. Like that.
With our arms around each other's waists. like that.
Yes, if it wasn't for the law.
If it wasn't for the law.
As it is, of course, we couldn't do anything of the kind.
Not for worlds.
Being engaged to Coco, you know.
No, being engaged to Coco. Were you not to Coco plighted, I would say in tender tone, loved one, let us be united, let us be each other's own. I would merge all rank and station, worldly sneers are not to us, and to mark my admiration, would I kiss you fondly thus? I would kiss you fondly thus.
But as I'm engaged to Coco, to embrace you thus con loco, would destiny be no joco, and for that I should get Toco.
Toco, 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 Toco. But in spite of all temptation, such a theme I'll not discuss, and on no consideration will I kiss you fondly thus. I would kiss you fondly thus. Let me make it clear to you, this is what I'll never do. This, oh this, oh this, oh this, this is what I'll never, never do. This, oh this, oh this, oh this, this is what I'll never do.
He'll never do.
I'll never do.
He'll never do.
Oh this, is what I'll never, never do.
There she goes. To think how entirely my future happiness is wrapped up in that little parcel. Really, it hardly seems worthwhile. Oh, matrimony! Oh, gentlemen, be about your business quickly, and off with you. What? You've never seen a tree leave? Now, where was I? Oh, yes. Oh, matrimony! What do you think you're doing? Can't you see I'm soliloquizing? Now off with you. Off, leave. Oh, no! Really? Now then, where was I? Oh, yes. Oh, matrimony. Oh, upon my word, you have interrupted an apostrophe, sir.
I am a bearer from a letter of a majesty from his Mikado.
The Mikado? What in the world can he have to say to me? Yada, 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 yada. Ah! Here it is at last. I thought it would come sooner or later. The Mikado is struck by the fact that no executions have taken place in Titipu for a year, and decrees that unless somebody is beheaded within 1 month, the post of Lord High Executioner shall be abolished, and the city reduced to the rank of a village.
Well, that will involve us all in irretrievable ruin.
Yes, and there is nothing to be done about it. I must execute someone at once. The only question is, who shall it be?
Ah! No, that won't work.
Well, it seems unkind to say so, but as you're already under sentence of death for flirting, everything seems to point to you.
To me? What are you talking about? I can't execute myself.
Why not?
Why not? Because in the first place, self-decapitation is an extremely difficult, not to mention dangerous, thing to attempt. And in the second, it's suicide. And suicide is a capital offense.
That is so, no doubt.
We might reserve that point.
True. It could be argued 6 months hence before the full court.
Besides, I don't see how a man can cut off his own head.
A man might try.
Even if he only succeeded in cutting it half off, that would be something.
It would be taken as an earnest of your desire to comply with the imperial will.
No, pardon me, but here I am adamant. As official headsman, my reputation is at stake. And I can't consent to embark on a professional operation unless I see my way to a successful result.
This professional conscientiousness of yours is highly creditable to you, but it places us in a very awkward position.
My good sir, the awkwardness of your position is grace itself compared with that of a man engaged in the act of cutting off his own head.
But I'm afraid, unless you can find a substitute.
A substitute? Certainly. Nothing easier. Pooh-Bah, I appoint you Lord High Substitute.
I should be delighted. Such an appointment would realize my fondest dreams. But no, at any sacrifice, I must set bounds to my insatiable desire. I am so proud if I allowed my family pride to be my guide. I'd volunteer to quit this sphere instead of you in a minute or two. But family pride must be denied and set aside and mortified and mortified.
My brain it teems with endless schemes, both good and new for titty-poo. But if I think the benefit that I diffuse, the town would lose. Now every man to aid his clan should plot and plan as best he can.
I heard one day a gentleman say that criminals who are cut in two can hardly feel the fatal steel, and so are slain without much pain. If this is true, it's jolly for you, your courage screw to bid us adieu.
I am so proud.
My brain it
if
teems
I heard
with
one day
endless schemes, both good and new
pride
for
who are cut
titty-poo.
in two can hardly
But
feel
if I
the
think
fatal
the
steel,
benefit
are
that
slain
I diffuse, the town
without
would
much pain.
lose.
If this
Now
is true,
every
it's jolly
man
for
to
you,
aid his
your
clan should
courage
plot
screw
and
to bid
plan
us
as best
adieu.
he can. And so, although I'm ready to go, yet recollect what disrespected I neglect to thus effect the same direct. So I object.
And so, although I wish to go, and greatly pine to brightly shine, and take the line of a hero fine with grief condign, I must decline.
And go and show both friend and foe how much you dare. I'm quite aware it's your affair, yet I declare I take your share, but I don't much care.
I must
So I
I
object.
take your share, but I don't.
So I
take your share, but I don't.
So I
take
object.
your share, but I don't.
So I object, so I object. To
Sit in solemn silence in a dull, dark dock, in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black rock. To sit in solemn silence in a dull, dark dock, in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block. A dull, dark dock, a lifelong lock, a short, sharp shock, a big black block. To sit in solemn silence in a pestilential prison and awaiting the sensation from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block.
To sit in solemn silence in a dull, dark dock, in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black clock. To sit in solemn silence in a dull, dark dock, in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black clock. A dull, dark dock, a lifelong lock, a short, sharp shock, a big black clock. To sit in solemn silence in a pestilential prison and awaiting the sensation from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block. To sit in solemn silence in a dull, dark dock, in pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black clock. To sit in solemn silence in a dull, dark dock, in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black clock. A dull, dark dock, a lifelong lock, a short, sharp shock, a big black clock. To sit in solemn silence in a pestilential prison and awaiting the sensation from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block. This is simply appalling. I, who allowed myself to be respited at the last moment simply in order to benefit my native town, am now required to die within a month, and that by a man whom I have loaded with honors. Is this public gratitude? Is... How many times must I tell you? Children should be seen and not heard and not seen. Off, off, off. No, off, 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 off. Now then, where was I? Is this public? Oh, please, sir, am I never to be permitted to soliloquize?
Oh, go on, don't mind me.
What are you going to do with that rope?
I'm about to terminate an unendurable existence.
Terminate your existence? Oh, nonsense, whatever for?
Because you are about to marry the girl I adore.
Nonsense, sir. I won't permit it. I am a humane man, and if you attempt anything of the kind, I will order your instant arrest. Now come, sir, desist at once or I summon my guard.
That is absurd. Why, if you summon your guard, then I will instantly perform the happy dispatch with this dagger.
Oh, no, this is horrible. Why, you cold-blooded scoundrel. Are you aware that in taking your life, you are committing a crime, which is... Oh, substitute.
Hey, what's the matter?
Is it absolutely certain that you are resolved to die?
Absolutely.
Will nothing shake your resolution?
Nothing?
Threats, entreaties, prayers, all useless?
All my mind is made up.
And if you really mean what you say, and if you are absolutely resolved to die, and if nothing whatever will shake your determination, don't cheat yourself by committing suicide, but be beheaded handsomely at the hands of the public executioner.
I don't see how that benefits me.
You don't? Observe. You'll have a month to live, and you'll live like royalty at my expense. When the day comes, there'll be a grand public ceremonial. You will be the central figure, and no one will attempt to deprive you of that distinction. There'll be a procession, bands, dead march, bells tolling, all the girls in tears, yum-yum, distracted. Then when it's all over, general rejoicings and a display of fireworks in the evening.
You think...
Well, you won't see them, of course, but they'll be there all the same.
You think Yum Yum would really be distracted at my death?
Oh, I am convinced of it. Bless you, she's the most tender-hearted little creature alive.
Well, I should be sorry to cause her pain. Perhaps if I were to withdraw from Japan, travel to Goreville for a couple of years, I might contrive to forget her.
Oh, I don't think you could forget Yum Yum so easily. And after all, what is more miserable than a love-blighted life?
True.
Life without Yum Yum, why, it seems absurd.
And yet, there are many good people in this world who do endure it.
Poor devils, yes. You're quite right not to be of their number.
I won't be of their number. I tell you how we'll manage it. You let me marry Yum Yum tomorrow, and in a week you may behead me.
No, I draw the line at Yum Yum.
Very well. If you can draw the line, so can I.
No, stop. Listen one moment. Be reasonable. How can I consent to your marrying Yum Yum if I intend to marry her myself?
My good friend, she'll be a widow in a month. You can marry her then.
Oh, that's true, of course. Oh, I quite see that. Oh, but dear me, my position during the next month will be most unpleasant.
Not half as unpleasant as mine will be at the end of it.
Oh, but dear me, well, I quite agree. After all, it's only putting off my wedding for a month. But you won't prejudice her against me, will you? You see, I've educated her to be my wife. She's been taught to regard me as a wise and good man. Now, I shouldn't like her views on that point disturbed.
Trust me, she will never learn the truth from me.
Come to learn how you decide. Don't hesitate. Your choice to name. A dreadful fate. You'll suffer all the same. A dreadful fate. You'll suffer all the same.
To ask you what you mean to do, we punctually appear.
Congratulate me, gentlemen, I found a volunteer.
The Japanese equivalent for here.
His Nanky Poo.
Hail Nanky Poo.
I think he'll do.
Yes, he'll do.
He yields his life if I'll Yum Yum surrender. Now I adore that girl with passion tender, and could not yield her with a ready will, or her a lot, if I did not adore myself with passion tender still, with passion tender still.
Oh, yes, he loves himself with passion tender still.
Take her, not you. She's yours.
The threatened cloud has passed away. What though the night may come too soon?
Then let the throng our joy advance with laughing song and merry dance. Then let the throng our joy advance with laughing song and merry dance. With laughing song and merry dance. With laughing song. With joyous shout and ringing cheer. Inaugurate their brief career. Joyous shout and ringing cheer. Inaugurate their brief career. With joyous shout and ringing cheer. Inaugurate their brief career. Laughing song, merry dance. With laughing song and merry dance.
Coco tells us that in 1 month you have got to die.
This is true.
And it would seem a hollow compliment to say long life to Nanky Poo.
That is a problem, you know.
But for 1 month you may live it up, as it were.
Well spoken.
Thank you. Then a toast to Nanky Poo. Long life to you.
Long life to Nanky Poo.
May all good fortunes make you prosperous.
Oh, may you have good health and riches. We wish you health and riches. May you succeed in all you do.
Long life to you. Till then.
Oh,
are you to interrupt us?
I claim my perjured lover, Nanky Poo. How could you desert this? Shallow fool, come back to joy.
That is Katisha, the maid of whom I spoke. I think I'll go.
No, you shall not go. Come to my bosom, rash fool, blind to my passion that has been accumulating for 47 years.
47 years.
Pink cheek, bright eyes, rose lips, unsurpassing grace that beguiled my untested lover. Your claim is about to expire.
If what she says is true, then you cannot marry Nanky Poo.
You must away from us, for we shall not be deviated from our intentions. Your connubial views towards the person you accuse does not concern us. For he's going to marry Yum Yum.
Yum yum.
Your anger pray bury, for all will be merry. I think you had better succumb.
Come, come.
And join our expressions of glee. On this subject I pray you be dumb.
Dum dum.
You'll find there are many who went for a penny. The word for your guidance is mum.
Mum mum.
There's lots of good fish in the sea.
On this subject we pray you be dum dum dum. We think you had better succumb. Come, come. You'll find there are many who went for a penny. Who went for a penny. There are lots of good fish in the sea. There are lots of good fish in the sea. There's lots of good fish in the sea. There's lots of good fish in the sea, in the sea, in the sea, in the sea, in the sea.
You shall pay for your unfaithfulness. I shall expose your true identity.
What can I do?
Prepare yourselves for surprising news.
I know what to do.
He is no musician. I knew it. I heard him play. He is the son of the...
Mahoney, Bakuri, Shakuri, Do!
You interrupt in vain, for he is the son of the...
Mahoney, Bakuri, Shakuri, Do!
I'll spoil.
Mahoney, Bakuri, Shakuri, Do!
He's the son
Mahoney, Bakuri, Shakuri, Do!
of...
Mahoney, Bakuri, Shakuri, Do!
Ye torrents roar, ye tempests howl, your wrath outpour with angry growl. Do ye your worst, my vengeance call, shall rise triumphant over all.
We'll hear no more ill omen out. To joy we soar, despite your